starlit sky, our love secret line, like leaves we soar so high. Beneath the moonlight, the soft touch your hand in mine gets me every time.
Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Aylin, and as you can tell, I'm sick. I unfortunately have COVID. I am feeling okay. Like, I'm not feeling great, obviously. I'm sick. At points, it's difficult to breathe. Also, if there are a lot of like cuts and stuff, I'm probably cutting out me coughing, so I apologize. I'm not immunocompromised or anything like that, which is a huge blessing, so to me it's just kind of like a really intense cold. I have to stay home from work all week, and I can't go see anyone. My boyfriend also has COVID, so at least I have some company. Obviously I can't like go out, see people, do things, whatever. So I figured, what better time to try to get through my TBR than now, get ahead of it, because last month I only completed one book throughout the entire month. For me is unusual, and I didn't like that. I also just didn't have a ton of time to read, and we were super busy all month, so I kind of want to get ahead of it. I don't think I'll be nearly as busy this month, but either way, I figured in this video we would try to get through as much of my TBR as is humanly possible. Today is Wednesday, it is October 2nd, and I'm staying home until at least Saturday. I might stay home Saturday and Sunday as well, but at a minimum I will be home until Saturday, so we have a few days to get through as much as I can. I'm not sure how long I'll vlog for. I might vlog all the way through Sunday, but this morning I finished Mile High by Liz Tomford. I was reading it yesterday. I just didn't feel like well enough to talk to the camera yesterday, but I feel better today. At least it's a little bit easier for me to talk. I woke up at an ungodly hour this morning. I woke up at 4:51, so I figured I would just finish the last 20% of this, and I finished it. I ended up giving this a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I really liked it. I didn't vlog my experience while reading the first bit of it, but basically we are following Stevie and Xander's. This is a hockey romance. Stevie is part of the flight crew that will be flying with Xander's hockey team all season long, and at first they get off on the wrong foot, and that kind of like creates this banter between them that obviously develops into like flirting and things like that. They fall for each other at the same time. I was gonna say he falls first, but maybe they fall for each other at the same time. I really liked this one a lot. I loved that there was like dogs included in it. If there's an animal in it, that will pretty much get me every single time, as long as the animal is obviously not being hurt. But yeah, I gave this one a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I thought that the banter was really fun. I really appreciated that Liz Tomford was able to flesh out all of the characters and their side relationships, so like parental relationships and how that affected their current relationships, their friendships that they have, developing new friendships, getting rid of old ones, the amount of representation for developing boundaries and how difficult that can be, but how important it is. There was also a lot of mental health talk in here, both for men and women, and honestly more so men, which I appreciated because I feel like that's not super talked about, so seeing that in here was very refreshing. Since I finished this one this morning, this was the first book off of my TBR that I completed. Of course, I want to read a book that's not on my TBR, and that is The Right Move by Liz Tomford. This is the second book in the Windy City series. I am just really bad at continuing on with series, but I really liked that one and I want to continue on, so I think I might download this one on my Kindle. But of course I'm trying to get through my actual TBR, so I figured I could read Good Bad Girl and just kind of flip between the two all day. This one is a thriller and this one is another sports romance. Very different vibes. This one is about 300 pages, this one is about 400, I believe. I've heard amazing things about both of them, so I'm very excited. I want to say that my goal for these is to be like 15% through and maybe 30 to 50% of the way through, seeing how this grabs my attention. This will be my first Alice Feeney. Then part of me is like, maybe I shouldn't set any goals because I am not feeling great. I'm still like very tired and everything. I don't really have anything else to do. I might edit some videos because I'm able to like concentrate right now. Yeah, that's welcome to the vlog. Sorry if my voice bothers you. I understand if this isn't something that you can necessarily watch because of that, but I figured we would just give it a go and try to read. I would try to read as much of my TBR in these next few days as I possibly could. I feel like this one I'll be able to get through relatively quickly. The chapters seem pretty short, so I feel like it should hold my attention and I shouldn't have too much of an issue like getting through this quickly. I already read a book by her and really enjoyed it. I read it relatively quickly given that it's a 500-page hockey romance and I was in a slump, but I'm really excited about the characters that we're going to see in here, and this is probably the most loved in the series, at least that I've seen. It got a ton of hype last year. So I also ordered the third and fourth book. I already got, so little story. So I ordered the third and fourth one because I have the independently published editions and I kind of figured that they were going to get picked up by a publisher. I wanted all of my editions to match. Well, Caught Up had already been picked up by a publisher. The edition didn't match. It was way shorter. I have it. It's just not in this room, so I can grab it later and show you. But I went on Pango Books and there was one copy of Caught Up available in the edition that I needed, so I immediately purchased it. I'm going to return the other one. But I'm very excited that I'm going to have all of them to match because that is definitely a thing for me. I got Play Along in the right edition, but the other one didn't. So anyway, I'm going to go download Right Move onto my Kindle and probably start Good Bad Girl first so that I can make some progress in that, and then I'll just update you guys with my thoughts and feelings. I also, maybe I should edit first while I have a little bit of energy. I think I might start with that because there's a video that I've been editing since like June that I need to get around to posting. So either way, this is my COVID vlog, unfortunately. I also forgot to say that we're having like the epitome of fall weather right now. It is raining. It's probably going to be raining all day. The leaves are changing. It's a little bit chilly. And I think it's supposed to be like that kind of for the rest of the week. Oh, no, the next few days are supposed to be sunny, but chilly. So still fall weather. But today is just like rainy, cozy, solid reading weather. Not that I could like go places, but I can't really go outside today since it's rainy because we don't really have like neighbors or anything like that. So I could go sit outside for some fresh air, which is also very nice. Now I'm going to go edit. To edit, but my laptop is dead, so I'm gonna plug that in just a second. Also, if you hear dinging in the background, my boyfriend is playing his video game. Lethal Combo, the gamer boyfriend and the reader girlfriend. I just read the first chapter of Good Bad Girl and my mouth is like already on the floor. The way that that chapter ended, it was only 4 pages and I'm already like, what? And then I read just one line on the back of the book and my head's already spinning. So I have so many questions and I'm definitely going to keep reading this. I just need to go plug in my phone and my laptop. I'm clearly bad charging my electronics. So anyway, but I'm going to keep reading this for a little bit. I'll come back and update probably soon on all of my thoughts and everything. But so far, one chapter in, I'm liking it. I don't know why I haven't read an Alice Feeney before. So many questions. My head is already spinning and not just because I'm sick. Despite what this looks like, I have changed locations. I was actually reading in bed for a while. I am now on page 65. I think I'm on like chapter 12. They're not numbered, so I counted that, but I have no idea if that's accurate. I will say the first like few chapters were definitely really interesting and grabbed my attention, and like each chapter kind of left on a cliffhanger, which is something that I really love in thrillers. I feel like Jennifer Lynn Barnes does that a lot, like manages to twist her words in such a way that it's like really intriguing and you can't wait to like continue on. It has slowed down a little bit. Not necessarily slowed down, but everything is just very vague. That makes it feel a little bit slower because I'm not really getting any new information. But we just got like our first little twist, I guess. It's not even a twist, it's just more like a little piece of information and another piece of the puzzle being connected, which I kind of figured out on my own. I don't know, I'm liking it. I'm gonna continue reading it. I'm hoping that it picks up soon and we start getting to like the mystery, because this one is about, I don't remember if I've already said this or not, a baby goes missing and then 20 years later a woman is unalive, and somehow those two things are connected, and we have not gotten to the point where the woman has been unalived yet. I'm liking it so far. Beginning's like a little bit slow, but it's not bad, and I think that's the way it is with most thrillers, just like laying the groundwork. So sometimes I can talk to the camera and it feels totally normal in front of you, and then I would like remember that you're here and I just think to myself, what the fuck am I doing? But I feel like 65 pages is not horrible progress for my lackluster attention span that's going on right now.
Beneath the starlit sky, our love's secret line, like waves we soar so high.
I'm really bad at drinking things that aren't water, so I have to like chug as much of this as I can whenever I pick it up. Health update. Still feeling very stuffy. My throat is kind of hurting, so I don't know necessarily how much more I'll be able to talk today. Other than that, it's just kind of like whatever. I don't feel great, but I don't feel as horrible as I did the first 2 days, which I'm thankful for. Reading update. I am now on page 100. I took a break and was like scrolling on my phone for a little bit. Definitely picking up. I'm really liking it. There are so many different things that I'm like wondering if they're connecting, and I've had like so many different theories. I'm wondering if I could potentially finish this today. I have not forgotten about The Right Move. I'll probably start that before I go to bed tonight, and I'm about a third of the way through, which is not bad, especially for being sick. So if I could finish another book today, I would feel pretty good about myself. I feel like I had more to say. Like, I wanted to do this update and I feel like I had more thoughts, and I don't remember what any of them are, other than it's picking up and I'm enjoying it. We're finding out obviously more information. There are a few lines that seem to be popping up multiple times, and one of them is that memories make liars of us all. So I feel like that is going to come into play. And the line that I just read was so heartbreaking. Like, there are so many solid quotes in here that it's making me want to annotate it, or at least like highlight or underline or something, which is surprising because I feel like that's not the way that I usually feel about thrillers. Like, there will sometimes be 1 or 2 lines in there that are like really good, but I feel like Alice Feeney just has a way of writing to like make it important and like meaningful, which I'm really enjoying. Sometimes it comes off as like a little bit preachy, just a little bit. For the most part, like, I'm resonating with all of it. She's not saying anything inaccurate, it's just that there's so much of it, I think, that's like, okay, the line that I just read that was so sad: when someone you love becomes someone you can't, it is the very worst kind of heartbreak. Like, what? I'm reading a thriller. I didn't expect to have my heart broken. Like, what is going on?
There's nothing to do but bask in the glory of the winter sun. Baby, this is the season of love. Baby, this is the season of love.
I feel like, despite how this might look, I don't remember where I've filmed in this video other than this room, and despite the way that might look, I have left this room. I've actually not been in this room that much. I come in here to switch up the scenery because so much of the day I have just been laying in bed. I don't feel good today. It's Thursday, by the way. Honestly, think I might feel worse than yesterday. Yesterday was like not a great start to my day, but I felt better throughout it. I felt a lot better as the day progressed until around the time that I went to bed. My eyes hurt so bad. I think just from how congested I feel and all of the pressure that's building up in my sinuses. It just kind of feels like nothing is helping. I have reading updates. So yesterday I got to page 208 in this, and I finished it up this morning around, well, I guess it was mid-afternoon, but I finished it around 12:30. Do I know what I'm doing? Finished this earlier today, and midway through it I was only gonna give it about like 3.5 stars, but after finishing it I settled on a 4. It's definitely a slower mystery in my opinion, and like a slower pace. If you want a mystery that's like not too scary, or I would say like super high stakes, I would recommend this one. It's very like, it's a fast-paced read but a slow moving plot, if that makes sense. It takes a while for us to get answers, which is so weird because it's only 300 pages and it does read very, very quickly. None of the plot twists in here were all that surprising to me. Like when I read them I was like, okay. It wasn't just like jaw-dropping. There were a couple things that I was like, oh wow, that's kind of crazy, but they were all kind of things that I had an inkling, or when I read them I was like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. It's not a bad book. I do want to read more from Alice Feeney to see if I like some of her other stuff a little bit better. I don't hate this one, and I would recommend it, especially if you haven't ever read a thriller before. I think this is like a good place to dip your toe into. It's, like I said, it feels very like low stakes by the time that you finish it. I wouldn't say like heart-pounding or anything like that. I definitely wouldn't classify this as scary. So if you're not a person who enjoys being scared but you want to try a mystery thriller, I would recommend this one. It definitely deals with heavier subject matter, but it's not as dark like other thrillers can be. It's not very gory or anything like that. So anyway, it was, I don't want to spoil it, but the ending made me smile. We'll say that, which I wasn't expecting. So I have to find a place for this on my thriller shelf. I've been like switching through the same 3 shirts for the past 2 days because I don't know if I'm hot or cold or like at an okay temperature. 4 stars to this one, and now I've finished 2 books in the month of October. I've already beat myself for the month of September, and now my camera battery is about to die. I don't know what I want to do. I'm kind of in a fantasy mood, so I pulled off all the books for my TBR that are fantasy. I also might download The Right Move onto my Kindle. I also might edit, but I'll come back when my camera battery is charged. It's Friday. I didn't talk to you a ton yesterday because I was honestly just like in a miserable mood. There comes a point when I'm sick where I just get so frustrated by the fact that I'm sick, and that was me yesterday. That was the point that I was at. I didn't feel good. I felt like worse than I had the day before. I was just so frustrated, I guess is the best way to say it. So I didn't really talk to you. I also didn't know like what I wanted to read, what I wanted to do. I was overwhelmed, frustrated. I don't know why I was overwhelmed, because like the only thing I need to do is rest. I do have some reading updates for you. If you couldn't tell by the vlog, like the montage yesterday that I had filmed, I had no idea what I wanted to read, and I was gonna come on and kind of talk about like the fantasy book options that I have for my TBR, because I thought that I was like in a fantasy mood. My throat really just started to hurt out of nowhere. But like I said, I was just in a bad mood, so I couldn't like put coherent thoughts together. I randomly on a whim picked up Lore Olympus Volume 1 and completed this super quickly. I mostly just wanted to listen to the playlist that goes with this series. It is incredible. I'll have it linked below. It's honestly one of my favorite playlists just like to listen to in general, but I love listening to it while reading this series. And the last book in this series just came out, and I think I'm going to attempt to do that throughout the month of October. I have all of the books except for the last one that just came out on Tuesday, so I wanted to start with this one. I read this one pretty quickly because I've read it so many times. Truly don't even know how many, probably upwards of 5, because I read them before they were like published. So I know everything that happens in this one. I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't anything that I was missing. And then before bed, I read a little bit of volume 2. I didn't get very far in. I was only this far in. I might continue this today. I may as well, but I don't know if I'm necessarily in the mood for it. That's why I said like throughout the month of October. But I did start The Right Move last night. I started this one on my Kindle. I don't know how far I got it. Only like 20 pages, it looks like. I was not very far in at all. But I am enjoying this one. I'm excited to be back in this world. I'm just trying to complete more series because I am so bad at completing series. Complete/continue on is kind of my goal right now. Don't mind Athena barking in the background. I would like to probably read more of this today. Especially because I like Liz Tomford's writing. I'm not loving Ryan. Like, I feel like in the first book he showed so much more emotion and he wasn't as abrasive or rude or just like generally an asshole as he is like coming off in this one. And I get that like someone's in his space and everything like that, but even toward Indy in the first book he seemed so much kinder, so I'm a little bit confused on like how that's like. I get that Stevie was his sister, so he was of course treating her a little bit differently than he would treat everyone else. They're twins. And he's kind of giving me the ick. This is like everyone's favorite book in the series, so I'm obviously going to continue. And I love Indy. Like, I think she's so fun. I don't know if I've explained what this one is about. Basically, our two main characters are Ryan and Indy. Ryan is an NBA player in Chicago. He is the twin brother of our female main character in the first book. And Indy is the best friend of our female main character in the first book. She's a flight attendant, and her boyfriend of 6 years from the previous book, she caught cheating on her, and so she doesn't have a place to live, and she just got a promotion. So while she's trying to like sort that out, Stevie asks Ryan if Indy can stay at his place because she won't be there all that often since she's a flight attendant. He won't be there all that often with practice and games and different things like that. He begrudgingly agrees, and so it's forced proximity and then fake dating, I believe, as well. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, like right now, not loving him, but obviously I'm only 20 pages in, so like there's time. And this morning, as you just saw, I finished Daisy Hates, The Great Undoing. I have lots of thoughts and feelings on this one. This is the 4th book in the Magnolia Parks series. It's the 2nd Daisy book. I will be honest, I am not a Daisy and Christian girl. I like them, but like I don't care about them that much. I am Magnolia and BJ all the way, every day till I die. I love them so much. I love Magnolia as main character. She is like a soul character of mine. I love Daisy a lot too. I think the part of these books that I don't like that much is Julian. I kind of actually hate Julian a lot. I don't know why everyone likes him. I truly don't. I'm still not over what he did in the first Daisy Hates book. Like, I cannot forgive him for that. There's not like much of a redemption arc to me. Like, I get that he is a gang lord and everything, but I don't know. I will be so honest with you. One of the main reasons that I was reading this book in particular is to get some more information and background on what happens at the end of the previous Magnolia book, because if you didn't know, these are like interconnected worlds. All of the characters, basically the first 2 books take place at the same time, but you're getting different characters' perspectives on it. So the first one is Magnolia and BJ's, obviously, and then the second one is Daisy, Christian, and Julian. Christian and Daisy are together. Julian is Daisy's brother. I don't know. I think I'm just very frustrated because these books so clearly have a formulaic like thing to them. Every time the characters get together, then they break up. They get together, they break up. Like, something always happens, and there's no just like reprieve of allowing them to be together and be happy, and it's so kind of annoying to read. I don't know. So I'm kind of annoyed. I know so many people love this book. I know this is a lot of people's favorite book in the series. It is just not mine. This does mean that I get to move on to Into the Dark, when I am ready, which is exciting. I also feel like there are so many other characters that I would rather read about and like get their perspective on everything. Anyway, moving on. Temper tantrum over. When I filmed my October TBR, I had 3 fantasies on it, and yesterday I had literally no freaking clue what I wanted to read, but the whole point of this video is to make it through as much of my TBR as I possibly can. I have now completed 4 books this month, and Daisy Hates was technically on my TBR. I just forgot to mention it in that video because I hadn't completed it in the month of September. I have completed 1 book that is not on there, and then I started another book that's not on there, which is par for the course for me, but I want to be good about completing my TBR. Problem is, I don't know what I want to freaking read. I want to pick this one up because I want to be like good about continuing series. I don't know if this is what I want to read right now. This is just not calling to me like it was when I filmed my TBR. Divine Rivals is also not calling to me like with the mood that I'm in right now. All right, I think Athena's done barking. I also have Divine Rivals, which I don't think I'm in the mood for because I don't want something like melancholy. I want like a romance, something that's gonna be fun, and none of these are really seeming that. The only thing that I could think of is Serpent and the Wings of Night, but I don't know if I'm like ready for this. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna stick with the right move. I don't know if I'm in the mood to read really anything right now. If there's something that like sparks my interest, the only thing that like kind of sounds interesting right now is not at all on my TBR. Please don't ask me why. I've had this book for so long and never put it on a TBR, but like a fall small town romance, like it sounds so good. I don't know. And I've been watching a lot of Sarah Caroli, and she's been reading Lucy Score books, and it's like, should I? I actually have a lot of Lucy Score books and I've never read one, so it's not on my TBR, and that's the point of this video. I'm gonna go make some lunch, grilled cheese and tomato soup, so that's exciting. I don't know what I want to do right now other than like not be sick. I know what I want to do. I want to film YouTube videos, but I am not well enough to do that, so I don't know what I want to do, and that is also irritating me. I might be giving this a go. Like, should I read 2 romances at the same time? I don't know about that. I don't know what I'm doing, clearly. COVID is very clearly not doing my memory any favors because I forgot there was something else I needed to talk to you about. In my video, I asked you guys to vote on which fantasy that I was in the mood for you thought I should read next. One Dark Window so far is winning. I haven't really gotten many more comments on it, but everyone has pretty much said One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. But then Rylan commented and asked me to buddy read Phantasma with her. Here is my predicament. Last month, I read Assistant to the Villain, and you guys voted for Butcher and Blackbird. This is just coming out to I have to read both of them every single month. So it's almost like, obviously your opinions matter, and I'm not trying to say that they don't. To me, it feels like I'm being disrespectful because it's like, whichever you guys choose, doesn't really matter, I'm gonna read them both anyway. Like, what? But like, I want to read this with Rylan, and I've heard it's really good, plus it's on Kindle Unlimited. So what's a girl to do? This one does sound interesting to me right now though, and I keep forgetting that it's on my TBR for this month because I hadn't moved it to the top shelf of my TBR cart. So maybe I could start this one. This would be a good pick, but like, I also still think I'll be reading this one. So just like 3 casual books at once, maybe 4. I cannot read 2 romances and 2 fantasies at the same time. Like, I can't read 2 fantasies at the same time. I can't read 2 romances at the same time. I can't read 4 books at once. Here's praying that work isn't super busy this month and I can finish everything. All I want to do is read, truly. I'll come back to you after lunch with a decision.
Cause I've always been told that things will unfold if you keep on waiting. But then you came along and proved me all wrong. I was so mistaken. Cause you glue all the pieces. I just got a package in the mail, and it was a screen protector for my Kindle. Today is Sunday. I didn't talk to you guys yesterday. I did end up having to go into work, which wasn't obviously fun. I am finally negative. I tested before I went in. There's still some bubbles in it, but it'll get the job done, and it'll keep the screen from scratches on it, which is really what I care about. But I think that was more like user error. I think if I had taken a little bit more time with it, it would have been fine. Football is currently happening, so I will give you an update after. I just wanted to get that taken care of, but now that it's done, I feel a lot better because I had already gotten like a couple really minor scratches, but it was annoying me. So maybe one day I will remember
to grab my tripod for my camera, but today is not that day. It has been a couple of days though since I last spoke to you. So it is now Monday. Haven't spoken to you in a couple of days. I wasn't sure when or how I was going to end this vlog, but I have come up with a solution, if you will. I mean, not really a solution because it wasn't a problem. An ending, I guess, a conclusion, if you will. I also am feeling much better on the health front, so that's good. I definitely still have a lot of pain and tightness in my chest, but I don't think that's going anywhere anytime soon. So as for a reading update, started The Right Move on my Kindle, and I started this morning 24% of the way through, I believe. Maybe it was 26. I don't entirely remember, but I want to say it was 24, and I ended today at 41% of the way through. They have had their first kiss, and I think the last time I spoke to you, I told you I wasn't really sure if I was feeling it. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it 100%. I'm swooning over this romance. Acts of Service girlies are done for if you pick up this book. The just thought that goes through Ryan Shay's mind when it is concerning Indy is truly swoon-worthy. I cannot tell you how many times I was sitting at my desk where people could see me, and I was just literally like, he did not do that. I know he didn't do that. I know he didn't do that just there. But he did. He did the damn thing. He's done so many damn things that I am absolutely and utterly obsessed with. I'm infatuated with him. I haven't had like a true fictional crush in such a long time. And my boyfriend's going to be playing this back and then asking me about it. He reminds me a lot of my boyfriend. She mentioned that she likes cold coffee, like iced coffee, more than she likes warm coffee. So she'll like wait for it to cool down and then put ice cubes in it. So he got up early for practice and made her a cup of coffee and put it in the fridge. Stunning. So 41% of the way through that. I think because I started this video on a Wednesday, I'm gonna end it on a Wednesday, and my goal is to have this done by then. This is kind of my main focus for right now, which brings me to my mail that I got today, which is very, very exciting. I came home to Caught Up in the mail, which I believe I started this vlog telling you that I purchased this on Pango Books. It is here. I am very excited. Thank you very much to the person who I purchased this from for sending it my way. It's in perfect condition. It's the edition that I wanted, so I'm feeling like I'm on cloud 9. The other thing is not bookish at all, but I'm so excited about it. I got a new Stanley. Okay, I am 100% a Stanley girl. I don't even drink cold water. I just like the way that they look. And I got the glacier color. It's like the softest blue ever. It's like almost white. It is stunning. This is like my new obsession, and this is the first sip on camera. It's everything I could. I'm so excited. It's beautiful. It is definitely my favorite color that I own. I only have 3 of them, which is still probably a little bit more than I need, but they bring me happiness, and I don't get them that often. I get like 1 a year. I'm very excited, and I just wanted to show you guys. It kind of matches my walls. I don't know how much more reading I'm realistically going to get done tonight. I have a whole video to edit, and I haven't really started. So I'm gonna bring my laptop in here and get some work done, as much work as I possibly can get done. And then my goal is to finish this book up by Wednesday. Is that possible? I'm not sure, but I also read 17% when I wasn't expecting to. I think anything is possible. Also, while I have you here, something that pissed me off today. I interact with people all day long for my job. I had someone come in and I was talking with them, and we got on the topic of books, which is wonderful. It was like 2 people together, but they weren't a couple. It doesn't matter. One of the people I was talking to was very into books, and we were like into the same kinds of books, so we were able to like talk about it, and it was very cool. The other person, the person that was with them, it seemed they liked reading, but they liked reading like nonfiction intellectual books, which I'm not bashing. It's not for me, but if it's for you, have so much fun. Then they got on their high horse about how they read things of substance. And I was at work, so I had to keep my composure. Obviously, I couldn't really say anything. And I tried to be like, I've definitely learned a lot from books of fiction. And they were like, no, there's not anything to learn in there. To people like that, I just want to look at them and say, if you read a fictitious book and you don't gain anything from it, like a new perspective or one tidbit of information, it's not the book's fault that you're stupid. That was really harsh. It is not that author's responsibility to educate you if it's something that is entertaining, but if you truly gained nothing from that book, that says more about you and your like reading comprehension level than it does about the people who read and enjoy those books, because I truly have learned and taken away so much from reading books. It has made me a more well-rounded person, a more empathetic person. I can walk through life, and all the different kinds of people that I meet and encounter, I'm better equipped to understand their situation. Maybe I won't understand it 100%, obviously, but understand like what they're going through, why they make the choices that they make, and just be more compassionate. And like there are other random facts that I have learned through books. Maybe it's not the most novel or like super life-changing piece of information. Maybe all I learned was free throws are a certain amount of points in basketball, but I still walked away learning something. And it's just so frustrating when people like, obviously it's frustrating when people harp on your hobby and make you feel like it's useless. That's not how that made me feel, because I am confident enough I take away from reading, and like my love of reading, I don't think that there's really much anyone could say to embarrass me really at that point. Frustrating because they were making fun of me, but they were also making fun of the other person that they were with. Don't do that to them. You don't get to do that to them. If anyone has ever told you that the books that you're reading are not worth your time, essentially, they are. If you needed someone to validate your love of fiction or whatever it is that you like, it's valid. You're allowed to like. That's the other thing. I don't have to read these things to take something away from them. I am allowed to read them, not learn a single thing, and just like it. Like, you don't have deep and involved reasons for liking a certain color. We ask people, that's like such a basic first date, first day of your job, first whatever thing. Like, oh, tell me something about yourself. My favorite color is blue. You might not like the color blue as much as I do, but you're not gonna make fun of me for having that as my favorite color. Like, I don't know. There doesn't need to be anything groundbreaking about the stuff that you read for you to be allowed to enjoy it peacefully. One of my biggest pet peeves. I think because I grew up hearing like, oh, you really like to read, you must be so intelligent. And like, I do think that I am more emotionally intelligent from reading, but like, I'm not sitting here reading nonfiction. That to me is so boring. I don't want to read it. I don't have to read nonfiction in order for it to be intelligent, and you also don't have to read nonfiction in order to like qualify yourself as reading something of substance. That's my soapbox. That was so random, but I just wanted to get that off my chest because, first of all, I feel like I haven't had like a chat with you guys like that in a while, so that was nice. But also, if you feel like you need to qualify your love of any hobby, specifically reading, to anyone, there is the qualifier, but also you don't need to qualify it. If you love it, you love it. If it's not hurting anyone, great. And if it's not hurting you, that's the best. You're allowed to just like something peacefully. Why do people feel the need to take that away from others? I don't understand. Rant over.